I'm Tracy Larson, and I want to welcome you to my podcast. We're a part of a community called Seniors in Motion, a place where you can get healthy tips and resources for yourself or a senior you love. Today we're going to be talking about how to motivate seniors to stay active. Now, both our parents are widowed, and they've complained a lot lately about feeling physically weaker. In fact, just last month, my mother-in-law had 3 separate falls that left her bruised and all of us very nervous. My father's had open heart surgery, and he also suffers from high blood pressure. Exercise is a very important part of us keeping him healthy. In trying to protect themselves, they've declined social invitations and family visitors. This has been a necessary part of protecting themselves from COVID. But what about the symptoms they may develop due to a lack of exercise and movement? With the recent pandemic, more seniors than ever before are homebound. Now, being stuck at home means a lot more inactivity. This can lead to stress, sleeplessness, and worst of all, a higher risk of developing a chronic disease. Activity and exercise is important to all of us, but especially those in our elderly population. They run some of the greatest risks of getting sick and suffering from a weakened immune system. Perhaps you're the person who needs motivation to be active, or like us, you may have a grandparent or a parent who finds it hard to get out much anymore. On a large level, this problem affects all of us within the community. So the big question today is, how can we help motivate our elderly population to stay active? We're going to explore a few ideas that might encourage our seniors to get out and move in hopes of extending their good health for as long as possible. All of us know that when we're alone and disconnected, it's much harder to motivate ourselves to do things. Perhaps you could adopt a neighbor, a friend, or a walking buddy. You can do this by extending an invitation and then stick to a preset time that works for both of you. This is a great way to keep a senior active. It also checks 2 boxes by engaging them both physically and socially. For those who are living alone, another solution might be to join an exercise program that's taught online. These can be found free on YouTube. You might want to look for something you're capable of doing, like yoga for relaxation, a beginner's Pilates workout, or include a set of resistance bands and practice balance training to help you improve both your strength and mobility. There are also many successful community programs that help to promote senior health, like senior sneakers or an exercise class taught regularly at your local senior citizen center. The key here is to find something that interests you, and then plan an activity around that interest. And don't forget that daily household chores, such as doing the laundry, gardening, playing with your grandchildren, or organizing an area in your house, counts as exercise too. These are just a few inspirations that might get your imagination going, but you get the idea. We just need you to move more and find joy in your journey as we learn to incorporate movement into our everyday lives. Al was a senior friend of ours who has a family history of dementia and Alzheimer's. Throughout his life, he stayed active skiing, biking, playing tennis, and working hard as a realtor. In his 70s, he developed the early stages of Alzheimer's. It was difficult for his family to accept, but he just kept on going. He would often say he felt like he was still in his 20s. Even though it wasn't true, he would often share with his doctors how he could still run 10 miles a day. The message here is that because he had created a habit in life of staying active, he never really slowed down. He got up each day, he dressed in a suit and tie, and was ready to go to work. The biggest difficulty the family had was finding enough places for him to go. I know that not everyone's family experience is the same as Al's, and there were days that were very hard for him and his family. But my point in sharing this story is that even with a chronic illness, we can help ourselves the most by creating a habit now to stay active. This week, I want to encourage you to look for someone, be it a neighbor, family member, or friend over 65, and think of a way you can invite them to do something active with you. I think you may be amazed at how much you benefit from the interaction as well as your senior friend does. I want to thank you all for listening to my podcast today and invite you all to join me again next time. For additional resources on how to become an active senior, please visit us at seniorsinmotion.com.